I help baby boomer small business owners transform their online presence with our coaching and digital marketing agency. In the last two videos I've been talking about what every small business owner must know before they begin to build an effective online presence to get more leads, more sales and higher profits. And we talked about how here is that the road to a sale, and your customer comes online like the old yellow pages. It's search marketing, it's not intrusive marketing like your TV, newspapers or radio or whatever. This is like the yellow page where they're searching, so they're coming on to search to buy, and how you had to answer every question your customer had, every doubt, fear, concern, and there was a set of scales that had fear of loss and hope for gain, and the goal was to answer their concerns to where hope for gain outweighed the fear of loss, so that people became predisposed for buying from you, and also that you build trust and relationship with them via testimonies, endorsements, before and after shots, but in other words, proof of what you're claiming that you actually do deliver. And then also what I talked about was the website, on how to design a good website, how there was a fold line that you needed to make sure there was some information that showed there was, there was text or images there, so that it showed that there was more information that they could scroll down on the page. How you need to have an opt-in box to collect email addresses and names for them, and also posting up on a weekly basis. I didn't say the amount, but a 500-word article once a week, giving them useful information about that. And then how to set your mast up on here with clickable email address and clickable phone number, Google Maps if you're local, and then succinct, clear headings. And the page I talked about with them, what's in it for me. So in with them it meant what's in it for me. You had some 5 to 7 seconds, some say less, but let's work on 5 to 7 seconds to capture their attention on it. So you need a good headlines, good information, good content in there. Now this video, what I want to actually talk about is how Google works, and I want to put it in a non-techie speak. What I want to talk about is the big G, or Big Brother, because he really is becoming Big Brother. But let's face it, over 90% or 90, I think something like 95% of Australians use Google now as their search term. So we need to work with it as a business owner, or with your online presence, or as a digital marketing agency. We need to work with them, not against them. But this is how it works, and how it actually, in very simple terms, how to get on the front page of Google. And you really need to be in the first 2 or 3 results. It's just proven that most people don't go past the first page, and most people don't even go past the top 5 on that first page. But so you need to be in your industry with the relevant keywords, and what I mean by the keywords is the key terms, the terms that people are typing in. For example, real estate, Melbourne, house for sale, Bairnsdale, home for sale, whatever the main keywords are that are being typed in, you need to know those, and to find them out you need a tool called, or Google have a tool called Keyword Planner. So it's a Google Keyword Planner, and it's free. It's relatively simple to use once you understand how it works, and you can go in there and start searching on the terms and what people are searching for. So let's assume that you've done all that. You've got your online presence built. You've got the website fully optimized, which means the keywords on your website and your content matches up what the buyers are looking for. So we're doing an assumption that that's been done. You've got all your social media buttons and everything else all linked to your website, what have you. And again, don't forget that this is important to understand. The website is your virtual shop front, and all of the other stuff that you put out there, well, I'll get ahead. Let me just backtrack a bit. Just let me come back to this. Just understand that your website is your shop front. It's your virtual shop front. It's not a brochure, it's your shop front. Now, if we have a normal shop front in traditional advertising or marketing, what we would do is we might put an ad in Yellow Pages, we might put an ad in the local newspaper, we might do TV, magazines, all those different ways of doing the marketing. And all of those were meant to drive your business, drive the business to your existing shop front or shop front, warehouse, whatever it may be. That was the purpose of it. So if you have that as a picture or as a way of thinking of it, this will help to make sense on how Google works. So this is what happens. And I'm not quite sure where I'll put the big G. Let's put the big G out there. So this is Mr. Google. Right? So what happens with Google is that they've got a whole bunch of robots or robotic equipment in all of their technology, and they go out and their terminology is spiders, but let's call it something that we as baby boomers understand, and let's call it the Google radar. Right, so that will help it to make sense in what you're doing. So the Google radar goes out, and you've just built this website, and it hits this website, and it goes ping, oh, there's a new player on the field. So it registers your business in Google. And not only does it register just the home page, it registers every page that you have on your website. And it also registers Facebook's, all your social media, everything else that's on there. So it registers those. So if you've got a Facebook page, yep, I got one of those. I've got a YouTube account. I've got a LinkedIn account. I've got a Pinterest account. I've got an Instagram account. I've got those. I've got a website that's got 10 pages, for example. I've now got 10 pages on there. So the Google radar, as I call it, has registered those in their system. So you're now officially online according to the big G or to Google. Now, what takes place to get you to rank, there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can pay for Google Ads, and Google Ads is, you know, when you type something in, you look down and you'll see little ads right at the top of the page or down the side, and they now actually say ad in them. They never used to, but now they do. And then underneath that is the Google search result, or what they call organic search results, and the name suggesting organic. What that means is it naturally grows, and the secret is we want to grow to become the #1 player on the front page of Google. That's the goal. Your ads are fine. The ads will work instantly. You only pay per click, so if someone clicked on the ad, it means that you pay for it then. But if you're not there, they don't happen. You know, if you don't pay or don't have ads there, you're not going to be on that front page. So my preferred option is that you are there organically, and you can be there organically if you do, do it properly and do it according to the Google guidelines, etc. The other thing is with the Google Ads, on results impressions, the amount of people that typed in your keyword and your website came up. That's an impression, and what it then means with that per impression, the percentage of ads that clicked on is usually about 1 to 3%. So it's not that effective in that sense. The upside is you don't actually pay for it unless they click on it. But when they do click on it, the result usually is about a 1 to 3% return. It's not my preferred option. What we work with is we work on ranking people on the front page of Google organically. And the potato cake manufacturer that I was talking about, we've got some 680 search terms that right across Australia that they come up on the front page with. In fact, in some places it's in multiple cases. When you type it in, relevant search terms, they're like listing 1, 2, 3, and some of those are YouTube videos as well as the website pages or different things that we're doing. Now, coming back to this radar and how you work the system, not manipulate, because manipulate can have negative connotations to it, but work within the Google guidelines, because if you try and manipulate it with what's called black hat techniques, black hat techniques means that there's people out there that spam the system and it's got short-term spectacular results, but long-term, if you get caught by Google, long-term you are dead in the water. They completely ban you, and you go from the top of there to way down the bottom, never to be seen again. So you need to have what's termed as white hat SEO, or search engine optimization. I don't want to get too techie speak, but basically search engine optimization means that you optimize your website, or I should say your online presence, that the search engines, because Google is a search engine, and that you work favorably to what they're looking for their clients. And really for their clients or their users, what they want is good content relevant to the search terms that they're doing. And Google, with all their robots and everything else, and mathematical machines, algorithms, call it all the techie stuff, they're basically nutted it out that it is. So you've got to work within that system. I hope that's making sense. Okay. So the Google radar, or search engine, or optimization, or whatever you want to call it, let's call it the Google radar, because that's a term we all understand as baby boomers. The Google radar has registered you online. So we don't know the exact times. We think it's every 8 to 10 days. The radar does a complete sweep of the whole internet. And when it does a sweep, it comes back and checks these things out, which is what you've got there. So it's checking them out. But here's the secret. If you've got a Facebook page here, and you're getting lots of activity on that, and you're posting articles up on your Facebook page, my understanding is the Google radar, when it does the sweep, it hits these, and every content's there, it actually adds more information to it there. If you have a YouTube channel, and you've got a YouTube channel, and we build a YouTube channel on Facebook for all of our clients as part of what we do, and you add a video, just like the one that you're watching in here, you add that video, the Google radar picks that up and notifies it and indexes that. So 8 to 10 days later it comes around and it sees there's another video added in there. It records that there. Now the other thing is, on your website we talked about having a blog, and I always struggle with the terminology, but the blog is just basically articles being written. Let's call them press releases. Articles were put in the newspaper. That's an easy way to do it. Press releases. Let's call them press releases. That's an argument. That's a conversation, a word that we understand. So you write a press release in here. The Google radar registers that. Then the next week you write another article, and you only have to write articles of about 500 words and post them on your website. Every time you do that, the Google radar starts to index them and register them. Now, this is where it gets technical as well. We'll come back a step. You want to have a LinkedIn page. We recommend that a business owner should have a LinkedIn page. So if you've got a LinkedIn page and you're posting information and got connections and happening there, that also indexes itself with Google's radar and it's reported. Now, while you're posting all of this information, what's taking place is your website is going up in the ranking, right? Now, I'm oversimplifying this in here, but I basically want you to get the fundamentals to understand, because there's so much confusion out there and people don't really understand the fundamentals of what's happening. But by you putting activity on all of these things, writing articles in here, and you could be adding other fresh content to your website as well. The blogs is the great way to do it. And we also use what's termed as WordPress websites. WordPress, it's a fancy terminology. It just means that it makes it relatively easy for anybody that's got some sort of computer knowledge can add content to their web pages with some help, some technical support or something like that to do that. Okay, now we hear the terminology search engine optimization, and we get all these SEO companies that are always, we always, and even I get them myself, is that we're, wanting to offer services for SEO or search engine optimization. This is one of the ways that can do that. If you've got what's termed as backlinks, and we spend on average 50 hours a week just building backlinks and linking our customers' website and online presence to other websites, if I keep that real simple. And so by putting in backlinks to your website, continually writing articles and posting them out to multiple websites, that what happens is that accelerates the ranking. So every time an article's written or there's a link created that links back to your site, or an article in here, is that then gets indexed and ticked into Google. So over a period of time that this is done, your website will rank itself to the top of Google, right? And you'll own the online presence, or the front on the front, is that you'll be on the front page of Google. So I hope that makes sense in what I'm trying to say of how Google works. So by all this activity, all this content that's being placed, it actually moves this up onto it. The Google loves content, so you're writing good quality content for them. All of this information that's there is helping that rank. Now that sounds like a whole lot of work to do. So there's a couple of solutions that you can do with this. You can either contract someone else to do it yourself, or you can work with a digital marketing agency that does it for you. You can just do a SEO company or search engine optimization company to do it, but then you've got to be very careful and how you go about doing that. We've been getting lots of response on these videos of what we've been doing, and as a result of that, we've created a digital marketing baby boomers guide to marketing guide, or to be correct, it's the digital do-it-yourself baby boomers guide to internet marketing. The other thing what we're doing as a result of all the inquiries that we got is that we're creating a whole video series and a coaching program to those that are interested in that, and that's going to come up over in the next few days. Not sure if or next couple of weeks or so, and I'm not sure that if you're interested in doing that, love to be able to help you. Grow your online presence. It's the greatest media marketing opportunity in history. I've talked about, some of our clients, the motel getting 100% increase in business, a potato cake manufacturer getting 150% increase in business. We've got one of our customers, and this is where, some people say, well, I don't need an online presence because people don't use it. People do actually check you out. And one of the ones that was an amazing result for one of our customers, they're a used car dealer, and we already had them on the front page of Google in their region, because the car industry is pretty competitive with some of the major players out there, but we niched it down into the areas that were relevant to him and got him on the front page of Google. But more importantly, what was happening for his customers is they were going on to car sales and Cars Guide, which are two major search directories here in Australia for looking for cars, and they would find the car, but what they did is they would then go to his website and check him out. Now we know that for a fact because that's exactly what the customer was saying when they went into his office. As they'd say, we checked you out. We found the car on car sales, or we found it on Cars Guide, but we went and we found your website and we checked you out. And so we built the site to create lots of trust and lots of value and build confidence for the customer. But they still use, the point I'm making is they still use the site. So it doesn't matter what business that you're in, don't underestimate the power of how powerful it is. One of our clients, he had no online presence, and the industry that he was in, it's in the automotive industry, and the automotive industry in this country is going through massive turmoil. So he actually worked in the industry supplying the manufacturers with particular, goods and services. Now, that since is disappearing, And so he does not have an online presence. He's probably one of the best in his field, but he's a baby boomer like the rest of us. And what he didn't understand is the power of the internet. So business has shifted. He worked, his lead time can be 12 months on for him to get a sale, and the sale can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars on that. And so for him, what happened is he built trust and relationship and a credibility with the person that he was interacting with the company, but there was powers to be above him that he had no contact with. And so this contract that was like, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth to him, he lost to another company, not because they were better and not because they were cheaper, but because they had an online presence that the person that he had never met could go and see. So effectively, his lack of online presence had cost him a major sale. And I see this continually happening all the time, right across the board in all sorts of industries, how their poor online presence is literally costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the scary part about this is most business owners are completely oblivious to it because they don't see it. They don't see the customers coming online. They don't see them come online and then disappear again, because this is something that's invisible to us. It's not like a physical building that we can see, people drive past, or, once upon a time it was important to be on a major highway frontage. That's not the case anymore. That can add value, but for the amount of money that you have to pay to be on that highway frontage, in the case of a lot of businesses, is no longer necessary. So many businesses are home-based businesses. In fact, mine is home-based. I have an office at home. There's no need for me to have an office anywhere else. And that's what's happening for more and more businesses. So you can dramatically reduce your overheads. And I'm digressing a bit in here in the sense what I was trying to convey to you is that just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. This is the greatest media marketing opportunity in history. And those that are smart and embrace it are the ones that are really cleaning up. Now, the challenge for us as baby boomers, we're really can't get our heads around it. And I was fortunate in the sense that in the mid-90s, I got paid to learn how to use computers, and believe it or not, I got paid to sell little 4-page mini websites. So I was fortunate in the sense for my generation, like the generation I'm talking with here, is that I was able to learn it. So I've really got years and years of understanding of this, and coming from a marketing background, I've now learned how to merge the two. And over the last over the last 5 to 8 years, just seen some absolutely amazing results of what can happen if you actually do it properly. It's just nothing short of extraordinary. And it's out of that I've seen the need to be able to want to help baby boomers with their digital marketing, because all of us are starting to, or when I say all of us, that's a broad brush, but a lot of industries I see, their business is diminishing because they're using old advertising techniques. They're not embracing the internet. Yet if you go and fish in this pond and you do it properly, man alive, your business will absolutely be transformed. And not just transformed, you're removing geographical boundaries, where once upon a time you were locked into a particular boundary. That's not the case anymore, and I could just spend another hour just talking about that alone of what it can be, how you can remove the geographical boundaries. But that, I guess, with the granny flat builder and the guy in Greece buying one for his Sydney property and they never meet, is as good a example as any of just how powerful this is if you can just get it there. And I just can go on and on with the stories. But I just wanted to basically give you an overview of what's happening with the internet. I trust that this has really, really helped you. As I said, we're creating a video series and a coaching program coming up over the next few weeks. Keep an eye open in your mailbox or on your social media. Connect with us there on your social media, because we'll be posting it up there when it's available. The coaching obviously will be limited. Will be limited numbers on that, and the training series that goes with it will be available, without the coaching series. One more thing: if this video series has helped you, please share it with your friends. I know there's tons and tons of baby boomer, small business owners out there really struggling with this whole internet thing. And their businesses are, they've got great businesses, but their marketing, they're still using old techniques, old ways of doing it, and really struggling on how to get, onto this, get their head around the whole internet marketing. So share it with others. If you've got any questions or comments, post them here or post them on the our social media sites. Love to hear from you. Give us some feedback. Anything that you would like us to really talk about in this new upcoming training series, just stick it in there and we'll get back to you and we'll make sure we address it. Thanks very much for your time.